A woman's entire body was coated in lubricant as she squeezed into the narrow opening, but just as her feet emerged on the other side, her waist got stuck and she couldn't move. The man beside her didn't pull her out. Instead, he kept pressing down on her body. The intense pressure and the sensation of her skin tearing made the woman scream uncontrollably. Blood began streaming down her thighs. She frantically begged everyone to stop and pull her back up, but they didn't seem to care at all and kept pushing down on her body. As they continued to apply pressure, her body was forced deeper into the hole. Eventually, only her arms and head remained above the opening, but before she could even catch her breath, two people beside her pushed down hard again, shoving her through completely. The woman plunged into the foul-smelling sewer below. The people above leaned over the opening and called out her name. Their attitude had completely changed from before. Now they were worried she might drown. Soon, the suffocating feeling in the water made her desperately swim toward the surface, but the moment she emerged, she was absolutely horrified. The putrid water was covered with human waste, and the nauseating stench made her head spin. But even so, she had no time to rest. She quickly searched for the antidote floating in the water. It all started just 1 hour earlier. Anna had walked into this bar to grab a cup of coffee when she heard a gunshot outside. Everyone crowded around the windows to look and saw a man shot dead right outside the bar. The once bustling street was suddenly completely deserted. This eerie scene terrified everyone inside. No one dared to go out. Only a kind-hearted sanitation worker, seeing that the man was still alive, rushed over to try to save him. The people inside scrambled for cover, hiding in the bar. Too afraid to move, everyone started speculating about what was happening. Some thought it was a terrorist attack. Others believed the US and Japan had gone to war. Some even thought it was the end of the world, and society had descended into chaos. When they finally calmed down and stood back up, they were shocked to discover that the two bodies that had been lying outside had mysteriously vanished in less than a minute. There wasn't even a trace of blood left on the ground. What's more, the bar's door had somehow been locked from the outside. They were now trapped inside, with no way to call for help. That's when Anna remembered someone. Earlier, Bruce had rushed into the bar's restroom, looking like he had caught some kind of disease. Strangely, after Bruce went in, he never came back out. Just as Anna was puzzling over this, a strange noise came from the restroom. When they opened the door, they found Bruce collapsed on the floor, convulsing. A used syringe was lying on the ground beside him. Then they heard the sound of vehicles outside. They ran out to look and saw the military had arrived. Everyone shouted for help, but the soldiers completely ignored them, pretending not to see them at all. Instead, they piled tires on the spot where the bodies had been and set them on fire. Then a news report came on the TV. A mysterious virus had suddenly emerged, and a massive number of people had already been infected. The virus spread through airborne droplets. Infected individuals would experience sudden immune system failure and complete organ shutdown, dying within just a few minutes. So they figured the two people who were shot earlier must have been known infected individuals. That's why the military had moved so quickly to dispose of the bodies and clean up the blood and disinfect the ground where the infected had fallen. Just then, they heard heavy footsteps behind them. Bruce had been infected with the X virus, and his body had begun to mutate. His eyes were clouded over and bulging as if they might pop out. Blood was oozing from his ears. He had lost all sense of awareness. He raised his hand to attack someone nearby, but collapsed on his own. Just as the news had said, infected individuals die within minutes. Now everyone understood why the military had killed those people on the street and why they had sealed off this bar. It was because the overweight man had been infected, but still walked into the bar while coughing, turning everyone inside into potential carriers. Realizing this, everyone fell into despair. They could already see their fate. Either they'd stay here and be exterminated by the military, or they'd end up like Bruce, waiting to die after infection. To make matters worse, none of their phones had any signal. That's when Musk noticed Bruce's dropped phone actually had a faint signal. The two of them started fighting over it, each wanting to be the first to call their families. But the bar owner, Ellie, warned them not to touch Bruce's phone. It could be covered in the virus. Terrified, they immediately stopped fighting, but Dylan said infection was inevitable anyway. They had all been in the same room as Bruce and had probably already inhaled his droplets. Besides, the X virus was extremely contagious. The only thing they could do now was hide, because the military could come to kill them at any moment. By now, the streets were completely empty. Those who could hide had gone home. Those who couldn't had already vanished, without a trace. Ellie said there was a hidden underground passage beneath the bar where they could take shelter, but Ellie and two others refused to go down. They believed they couldn't possibly possibly be infected since they hadn't touched Bruce's phone or inhaled his droplets. Besides, they had money and power. They could bribe the military. They even pulled out guns and ordered the others to get down there, so they wouldn't get infected too. Faced with guns pointed at them, the others had no choice but to climb down into the sealed cellar, bringing Bruce's body with them. Before long, they heard gunshots and screams from above. It seemed those three hadn't escaped the military's purge after all. That's when they noticed there was a sewer drain in the cellar. It looked like the sewer was the only way to the outside world. This was their only chance of survival. But everyone was disgusted by how filthy and foul-smelling it was. No one wanted to go first. Only the homeless man didn't mind the filth. He volunteered to go check it out. He started taking off his clothes one by one. No wonder he didn't mind the smell. His own body odor was way worse than the sewer. To fit through the narrow passage, he needed to lubricate his body first. He grabbed a bucket of soybean oil and poured it all over himself, with his entire body coated in oil. The others helped push him into the small sewer opening. His lower body went through fairly smoothly, but his belly got stuck tight.